God blessings everybody, this is the Gaming Christian with yet again another video. And this video is all about my console collection. I've just uploaded a whole bunch of videos with me showing you my collection. Too bad those videos take a long time. So what I'm going to do before I'm going to show you my consoles one by one, and don't worry, I will not try to make it a long video because this is like the second take. The first take took way too long in my opinion. I wanted to do this as fast as possible. I'm sorry about the last videos took so long. I mean, I talked a lot in those videos and here I go again. I just kept on talking, but I had like stories with every game, so I told them this is going to be a fast rerun of my game, and a real fast one. I'm just going through it. You see? Showed you. But I don't know, maybe you need to observe a little bit better. But first, before I start with my consoles and my other game collection, I want to explain these piles of games here. These are not part of the collection because there are some reasons. This pile is games that I either want to sell, want to give away, or just want to get rid of. So if you guys are interested in Prince of Persia 3D, Warhammer, Dark Omen, and this one, and Singles Flood Up Your Life, please let me know. This pile of games are games that I don't know what to do with. I consider them not good enough for the collection, so they might be fun, and then they can be a part of the collection. If they're not fun, if they're nothing too special, I will put them on this pile, if you know what I mean. Or maybe give it away to you guys, who could say. This is the pile of games that either they don't work, or I don't have the console for, like... this one is the ColecoVision game, the only ColecoVision game I have, named Gorf. And this, I don't have the console, so I don't really don't know if it works. Of course, these are the Neo Geo MVS console. It's actually an arcade cabinet. It was really expensive, really huge, but there's also a consoleized version of this. I do have the AES, just like I showed you in my collection video, and there's a whole bunch of PC games that doesn't work on my Windows 98 laptop that I'm going to show you in this video. Then there are these games. These games are a part of my collection, but I'm only putting a collection of 3 games each console on the shelf. Like, if you go to this shelf, I only have like 3 Mega CD games, and I put them on the shelf because I think it's more than enough to call it a collection. Now, with these consoles, I only have like 2 for the Vectrex, 1 for the Neo Geo AES, the Virtual Boy, and the TurboGrafx. So yeah, I put them here, and if I can get one more game for that system, I will put them on the shelf. So yeah, so let's get it started. Here is my PSP collection. These are the games for it. Pause them if you really want to see. These are my Nintendo DS games. Sorry, my camera is not really that super sharp. I bought this camera like years ago. I'm still using it with a lot of fun. Well, here's my Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games. Here are the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games again. I think this is the only Game Boy Color I have, although I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, this is Game Boy Color. Don't know why I put them in my Game Boy collection, but what the heck. And here is my beautiful... How do you say that in English? Something to put games in that has like a plastic ceiling over them, and it really looks great. Here are my Game Gear and Supervision game. And for the rest, back there are the Game Boy Advance games, but you can't see them from here. Well, this is only just a quick show you. Here are some statues and dolls I have. A cap, baseball cap, whatever, how do you call them, hat, for Mass Effect I got for free. It's pretty cool. Here are my Dreamcast games. Let's get a closer look. Here are my Dreamcast games, my GameCube games. I don't have too many games of each, but, you know, it's enough. That's all I can say, but it's not like a whole bunch like my games that are over here. This is the Xbox games, my PC games. These are the diamond-cased PC games. This is the special edition of The Witcher 2. This is my Sega Saturn games and my Philips Videopack games. And or the Odyssey 2 games. Then a quick few at my PlayStation 1 games. I have a whole bunch of them. PlayStation 3, 2 piles of Xbox 360. Not the most biggest piles, but what the heck. my Mega Drive games, and I have one Genesis game in here. Where is my Genesis Golden? Oh yeah, Echo the Dolphin. Mega Drive. Oh no, the cartridge is Genesis. That's true. My Atari 2600 games with the loose cartridges that comes with them. Then let's go here. I have my NES games right here together with the packaging. My SNES games with the in packaging and the converter for the SNES. Then my Nintendo 64 games, all in packaging. My Wii games, Mega CD, Atari 7800, my Amiga 500 games, as you can see. It's very dark in here, but what the heck. And my Master System games, my PlayStation 2 collection. It's the biggest one I have. Then my Final Fantasy collection. And that's not it yet. Let's go to the final part of my collection. I have a whole bunch of games lying in the living room, but we won't go there. This is my boxed PC games, as you can see. Other boxed PC games and my MS-DOS diskettes. And of course SimCity. And this is also a whole bunch of games in the box. So yeah, let's get started with my console collection. I want to make this a fast video because my last videos, they all take so long because I say too much. So let's go through them fast enough. My Atari ST, another keyboard type console, actually a PC type console. So yeah, Atari ST was one of them. Consoles like the Atari ST and the Amiga 500, which I also have. It's on the floor because it's too big for the shelves. It's also a keyboard type console. This is my favorite PC type console. I didn't had a PC type console back in the day, so I actually played this game like a couple of years ago when I had it for free. No, not for free. When I just had it new, and I got the games with it. You know, I really got it for cheap, and it works perfectly. Then I have my PSX, my PS1. They work perfectly. My Atari 2600 Junior version. This one doesn't work all that well because I even tried it on a black and white television and it didn't work. So yeah, with the original box, and also in the original box we have the Atari 7800, but the console stands in my living room, so we'll go there later. Then there's the Neo Geo AES. This is it's not the MVS, obvious, but yeah, this is, you could say that this might be a consoleized version of the MVS, but I'm not very sure if that's really the case. The case is that this console's just awesome. It never came out in Europe, so they gave me a certain adapter for it, so it fits into the European socket. But yeah, the Neo Geo MVS never came out in Europe, so I'm pretty glad to have this console. Then there's a TurboGrafx 16. Yeah, we had one in Europe. It kind of flopped, this console, but it's a cool console. It's one of those consoles that's really underrated, but if you had to choose between a Super Nintendo, a Genesis / Mega Drive, or TurboGrafx, everybody would have picked the Super Nintendo or the Mega Drive, so... Yeah, but the TurboGrafx is just as good, but it doesn't use cartridges, it uses cards. Check out my collection video, or any other TurboGrafx video where they show you what kind of cards you use for the TurboGrafx. Then I have the Dreamcast right over here. I'm glad to have it. There's a huge story behind it. When I was a kid, I used to read about this console when it actually came out. Back in the day when I was a kid, I read about it and I saw the controller, and I was sure, like, I'm never going to play this console and I'm never going to play that controller. I bought one, I played the controller, and I couldn't be more happier. And there was even a game called Shenmue, which I knew I would never play, but I even played part 1 and part 2. It's unbelievable. When I played Shenmue, every second counted for me, and just playing the Dreamcast was amazing for me personally. I love this console. This is the GameCube, obvious, you know, this console didn't sold well either. This is the Nintendo 64 with a thingy over here. I don't know what you do with the thingy. Click it right back. Right next to that, there should be a Super Nintendo, but right now I'm having the Super Nintendo plugged right into the living room. This is a Super Game Boy. On this piece of emulator thing, you play Game Boy games on Super Nintendo, so it's actually pretty cool. You plug this into the Super Nintendo and you put the Game Boy game in here. I'm not so sure if Game Boy Color works with this, but I do know that you play Game Boy games. Not Game Boy Advance, Game Boy games. I also have the Game Boy Advance player under the GameCube, as you might have already seen, so you can play Game Boy Advance games with it. Then I have 2 NESs. Yeah, the problem, one didn't work, so I bought the other one, and it didn't properly work either. It might have something to do with the cartridges itself, but the whole system about putting the cartridge right in front might be a little bit of a problem. You know, the pins in the cartridge might bend a little bit, but not, you know, if you use it so many times, they do intend to bend a little bit, so they don't work properly, and the same counts for the system itself. That's why I want the top loader, but it's never came out in Europe, so I have to get it a different way. Then I have the Master System over here, the Master System 2 to be precise. I have the Mega Drive 1 with a cool looking lion in front of it. Don't know why that's there, but I bought it for very cheap. Then I have the Mega Drive 2 and the Mega CD, which works perfectly together. Yeah, I love the Mega CD. It has cool games on them from a personal point of view. And then I have the Sega Saturn. This console doesn't work properly anymore, so I have to clean it from the inside. But I'm doing that with an expert. Then I have the Xbox 360, the first version, and the Xbox. The reason why I have the Xbox 360 right here is because this one is broken. And I have a slim version bought a couple of years ago, and I have that one in the living room. So, yeah, and I also have the original Xbox I sometimes play on. The PlayStation 3 box, the PlayStation 3 is standing in the living room. I have the Wii, who is also in the living room, but I also have the box, you know, with the Mario Kart Wii pack. And then I have the Vectrex over here, who's standing all on top of here. You might wonder, well, won't it crash down? Well, yeah, it's standing on this little thingy over here. So, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Now, let's go to my, well, you know, handhelds, plug-and-play machines. I have my books right here. So I'm going to do a separate video showing you all the books and a little bit what's inside of it. I love these game books, magazines. I won't show you each magazine, I'm going to show you a few, so don't worry about it. Then I'm going to sit down for now. This is the plug and play machine, the first one I bought. Yeah, it looks very nostalgic. See, it's kind of ripped open here. I'm going to do a separate video with the games that comes with it. Then I have one of the more cheapest plug-and-play machines, kind of dusty. It's for €7.50. I bought it in a supermarket. There are, let me see, 64 games on them. And I love this. This is my favorite plug-and-play machine, although I haven't played the plug-and-play machine for a very long time. So this is my least favorite. This one wasn't as expensive, but it's a Wii kind of thing. There comes a lot of games with them, but the games that uses the remote control, you know, the remote controls, not that great, and the games itself isn't all that great either. It's just cool to have, so I have them right here. Then I have a handheld with screens, and every screen is a separate game. You put it in and you play. It needs small batteries, but I haven't played this. And I have it in my collection. So, another console that was too big for the shelf. It is my Philips VideoPack G7000, one of my newest consoles. It has a keyboard on it, a pretty cool one. It works perfectly. I've tried this at a friend's house and it works perfectly. The controllers are stuck to the system. And the power adapter is right here. And the TV cable is also stuck to the console. So, all the powers are, you know, here. I have all my controllers and my power cables and adapters. I have them in plastic bags. And they're right behind this door down there. But for now I have here the VideoPack Computer G7000. And it still looks great. It was cheap and I got 9 games with it. So that's actually pretty cool. Then I have here this is the Supervision. I'm not so sure if this handheld ever came out in America, but what I do know is that the German version of the Supervision looked better. It even has games for it that I've already showed you in a separate video and in this video. But yeah, it looks like an ugly version of the original Game Boy we all know and love. But what the heck, it's just cool to have as a collector, as a collection item. Then I have the Game Gear, which is a huge, I think this is the first handheld that was in color, Although I'm not 100% sure, I think you have to be a true game historian if you know that for sure. But what I do know is that it is color, and I think it's the first one, although I'm not 100% sure. So go check it out if it's true. But I think it is the first color handheld. It's a big one, and it drains your batteries like crazy. So this is the Game Boy Advance. I rather have to. No, I'm just glad I have the Game Boy Advance. I was going to complain again, but I'm shutting up now. And it's just cool to have. I should have gotten the PSP here, but it's in the living room, so we're going to check that out. This is the Game Boy Pocket with a diamond case. This is the Game Boy Color over here. Look at that. It's also transparent, but I almost got this for free. Then I have the Virtual Boy. I'm going to make a separate video on the only game I have. This is the controller. But yeah, the controller looks cool, but this system plays awful. But as a collector's item, it's just fantastic to have. I really mean it. Then there's the Game Boy in original box. The Game Boy is in here with the game Tetris. I haven't showed Tetris in the collection video, but what the heck, here it is. This is Tetris for the Game Boy, and just a cool thing to have in original box and everything. The box still looks great. It doesn't look 100% like new, but it looks enough like new. It was cheap, so what am I complaining? With everything, the adapter and all came with it. Then there is the Nintendo DS, which is also in the living room, so I'm going to have to show you that. This is the Mario Kart pack for the Nintendo DS. It's, let me think. I sold that game, and that's stupid of me. I should have kept it, but you know what the heck. Maybe somebody else will be happy with it. So now let's go, before we go to the living room, or to the closet, here is a very special item. This is the Super Nintendo. This is the Super Nintendo I grew up with. It doesn't work properly anymore because it won't go past the beginning screen once you start up a game. And it's the color isn't nice anymore, so that's kind of it's not a pity. It looks like this console had many games in here when I was a kid. It was the first console I've ever played on my own. And yeah, this one is a personal piece of history. So yeah, that's actually very cool. I have some items here, but I'm not gonna show you in a different kind of video. There's a box with walkthroughs in it. I'm not so sure what that box holds. Oh yeah, this is all stuff for the Commodore 64 and for the Atari ST. All kinds of stuff where you can put diskettes in. I don't know. I'm not gonna check it all out. It's not very important. This thing over here is a hard drive for the Commodore 64. I'm not so sure how much space is on there, but it's huge and it's heavy and it's this big. Yeah, this is one hard drive with only, I think only 5 MB or something. Maybe even less. It's disused, people. Remember, this was back in the day. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in later. Then I have here the Atari ST monitor. I can only play the Atari ST with this monitor, so no television allowed. So yeah, I have it right here. Down there is a mystery box. I'm gonna make a separate video showing you what's inside the box. So yeah, that will be in a different video. Then I have all kinds of boxes here. The Xbox 360 boxes. The first Xbox 360 box and then the slim version 360 box. Then I have the TurboGrafx 16 box, the Dreamcast box, the Vectrex box, the PlayStation 2 box. Down here is the Sega Saturn box. And hiding a little bit is the Virtual Boy box. Maybe I'm going to show you that in a separate video, but for now... And, yeah, I'm going to show you those books in a separate video and what's in the box. For now, we'll travel to the depths of my closet. Sorry, it's dark now, people. It's so scary, isn't it? It's scary. Here's some lights. Ah! Oh, thank goodness. It's my closet where I put all the stuff in. This is my Windows 98 laptop. Here's where I play all my Windows 98, 95 games or MS-DOS games, and most of them works on it. I have two PCs here, my Windows XP computer and my computer I bought especially for Windows 98. The problem is it doesn't have 256 colors. So, no, it plays the games, but not with the color. So that's actually a kind of problem. So I bought this laptop instead. It was really cheap. I have a Commodore 64 here. I miss a few wires and cables for it, so I can't really play it. And I even have a this is for the Atari ST, a keyboard. I don't know why, because the Atari ST has a keyboard on itself, but I got it with it for a very small price. Ooh, it's scary again. Sorry, I try to get through this video as fast as possible because I talk way too much. Well, here's my Windows. Sorry, it's all blurry. This is my Windows 7 PC, so I play some games on that. Then we go to my PlayStation 3. This is my PlayStation 3. And this is my broken PlayStation 3 of my brother's. This is my Xbox 360 over here. The slim version, like I've already told you. I bought this one because the older one broke down. And I had it already fixed a couple of times. So I was like, let's buy a new one. And then there is the Wii over here. It's a black version. Nothing too special. I think everybody had already a Wii. But the controller is laying right next to it, but I'm going to show you that in this separate video. The last three consoles of my collection is the PlayStation 2 over here. It's still the old one. It still works, but it doesn't play PlayStation 1 games anymore because most of them, they can't even read it all that well. And I have a PlayStation 2, yeah, the old one, which still works for PlayStation 2 games. Then I have the Super Nintendo right here, which still works perfectly. Better color. As you can see, yeah, I take good care of my consoles. And last but not least, the Atari 7800, yes. The great thing about this console, you can play 2600 games on them. So it works perfectly. And of course, it plays 7800 games on them. So that's actually pretty cool. Alright, those are all my consoles. And that will be the end, people, of that video. Let's turn to the lights. Yes, that will be the end of that video, of those videos. I'm sorry this video takes so long. I really wish I could make them faster, but after this is over and then back to gaming videos again. Goodbye, everybody. See you guys next time with some more Gaming Christian. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching.